This is Plastic Adventures.
Sure. Hey, everybody, this is Steve, and that is Doug, and you have found yourself with the Plastic Adventures Toy Communities podcast. This is the Toy Mill. It's where we cover the freshest news from probably like all the weeks that we haven't been here with you. So,
Yeah, all
about
the
as
old
fresh
news that's fit to
as a
share,
Walmart salad. Yeah. Fresh as Walmart produce.
right?
We got maybe a few breaking things, but anyways, it's cool things that we've noticed out there, observations in the geeky toy world in which we immerse ourselves. So there's been some things, it kind of slowed down over the last like month or so. The big conventions are done, the San
Yeah.
Diego Comic Con and New York Toy Show, but out still trickles some interesting little tidbits here and there. So you want to start us off, Doug? You got something to talk about there?
Yeah. So, one of the things is an honor for one of our toys that I think is really cool. That honestly I can't believe hasn't happened before now. So Transformers as a toy line got inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame finally.
Finally,
Finally. Like,
finally.
why weren't they not one of the first ones? But it
Well, I mean, you've got like the epic toys, epic of all time, right? Ball and stick. You
right.
know that they're in there somewhere.
Yeah,
But yeah,
like one year they had to choose Transformers or the Slinky, and you just kind of, well, I gotta go with the Slinky, and they're kind of really literally doing this. So yeah,
I'm sorry to say, but now I know a lot of it has to do with like what they're up against
sure.
going in, the voting. But the freaking Slinky, dude, like there's no person who's our age, 10 plus or 10 younger, that got, they get a Slinky and then they get Soundwave G1. Oh, this Slinky's so much better than my
Oh my
awesome
God.
effing
All right. I
robot
mean,
that had
maybe they
little
were going
guys
for
that fit in a.
like impact at the time, or I don't know.
But Slinky's such a one-trick pony, like half the time it goes down the stairs right, then it bends and it's done.
or you straight
So
back and it
like
never freaking works again. So,
like
but either
I get
way,
it for its simplicity, I get that, but Slinky is that one kind of got me a little raw thinking about it. But yeah,
yeah.
finally Transformers.
So
Do I
that's
think
the
it's the
thing that I'm
greatest
pretty
toy
excited
line of
about.
all time?
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. No, I think that like Star Wars or for 3 3/4 Joe deserved to be in before Transformers because it was just so much broader. But no, congratulations, Transformers. There's a reason why it's still with us 40 some odd years later.
Absolutely.
It's freaking amazing. It was just to think that it was just an okay toy in Japan, and then it hits here with a backstory and characters that you fall in love with, and it's just like stitched into the fabric of our
I know.
pop culture.
Well, and it's just, from you when you and I were a kid. I mean, it really doesn't matter if you were 8 years old or if you were 12 years old. When Transformers came out, it hit every kid. Like every kid wanted to have it, right? And for it to last this long, from 1984 to 2024, and we don't count the years where they were Diaclone or any of that stuff. We're just talking Transformers. For 40 years, for a toy to stick around and still have the sale power that Transformers does, to still have the appeal that Transformers does, it really does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, right? And
It sure does.
we're talking like there have been different iterations. We may not have been totally sold on every generation, but that doesn't mean that they weren't good for whichever generation it was that loved them, or maybe they fell in love with that version of Transformers. So it hits everything, and every Transformer fan can connect on some level as to which characters they love or the reasons why. So it's definitely over. It's multi-generational, and it just hits everybody right in the heart and the feels. So congratulations, Transformers. Love to have you.
Yeah, and I'm going to say one more thing about Slinky.
Oh
For
no, we're still on
40
Slinky.
for 40 years, robots that turn into cars and trucks and planes and guns have been whipping the ass of the spring. I'm sorry to tell you, like, and for the next 30 or 40 years until it like completely disappears, Slinky gets one spot on the shelf now. Transformers at least has got some pegs.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
just take that, Slinky, you crappy toy that nobody likes.
Okay, so as a add-on to the Toy Hall of Fame, I don't know much about this toy line. But apparently it was very popular in the 80s. I know it was very popular in the 80s. But My Little Pony also made the Toy Hall of Fame.
Deserves to be there. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. A lot of Hasbro was just knocking it out of the park at the time,
Oh yeah.
and they had everything from, like the heat sensitive plastic that would change colors, or like you put it in the water or whatever. And I think some of them had smells, like
Mhm.
they smelled like well, they smelled like pink flavor since it's not really a strawberry
Yeah, what does pink smell like?
or purple flavor. So yeah, deservedly so. My Little Pony, good job.
Yep.
I'm not a brony by any stretch, but I don't begrudge anybody who is. I love Rainbow Bright, but it's kind of a flash in the pan.
And
Um,
I'm a closet Cabbage Patch Kid collector. Which not literally they are in my closet. I mean, but that's
uh, yeah, okay, good. My Little Pony, yeah, deserves to be there. Um, I saw something just like a few days ago,
oh yeah?
and I know it's going to be good, but it's so hard for me to root for it.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Did you happen to see the prototypes for G.I. Joe Classified that leaked out of Slice and Dice from Ninja Force?
Okay, this is news to me. I did not see that.
They have, and it was really quiet. Like I think it hit a day, and it was just like here and gone. I caught it on Toy News Eye several days ago.
What, were they prototype like gray to prototypes or were
No,
they
they're
like
like partially painted classified prototypes.
oh,
So,
okay, so what do you not like? Is this the first
dude,
classified flop?
Ninja Force? No. God, come on. I know they need to fill the line. We've talked about it a million times, but dude, you guys are hitting us with Raptor and you're oh God.
You do you feel like the classified line is starting to lose steam?
Effing Crystal Ball. His name isn't even Crystal Ball, it's effing Crystal Ball. Like that guy? Oh, wow.
No, but Steve, you know
It's like
somebody out there loves those guys.
there's less people that love Ninja Force than watch our show.
Wow, okay.
Okay,
Technical difficulties.
that's a that's a scientific fact, which I have no empirical evidence of, but I just think it
We're gonna
is.
take it as scientific fact. Oh,
Oh no,
oh,
slice and
I'm sorry
dice.
that disappoints you. I have not seen
And
them yet. I'm gonna have to go out and look at them. I will say I do love G.I. Joe Classified, but I don't collect every figure, and that's only because one, some of them are very hard to find, and two, uh, I just don't feel a connection to the character sometimes. So they may not be bad. I just don't feel a connection to the character, so I don't buy it.
yeah, and we have a certain friend who's going to be really pumped when they start farting out the Eco Force figures when they come, Eco Patrol or whatever that
You know who
sap
you are
line
when
is
you watch
called.
this. All right.
Uh, God bless you, whatever, man. But like, so okay, Slice and Dice aren't the most stupid looking Ninja Force characters.
We're gonna get
Tisha Bang
Bonsai with
is,
the pink mask.
or Bonsai, yeah. And I mean, just the names are almost like offensive to this day. Bonsai, like, ooh, what are we gonna get? Sato or Chopper or
We're gonna
like
get
some,
one. They're always in there somewhere.
oh God. Anyways, I saw that and I just thought, man, and they actually don't look awful. The prototypes
You
don't
made
look.
this whole thing, and you're like, ah, darn it, they actually look pretty cool.
The characters are so stupid. Like, what are we getting? We're getting, aren't we getting like Frag Viper
I think
with
so.
his weird ass
Yeah, with
highlight cup things
yeah,
that
they
he hucks
updated him a little
grenades
bit.
with?
I actually kind of like him, Steve.
Oh God, the colors is like khaki and blue. Oh
What's
man.
wrong with that?
Oh, what a stinker figure that. But
Oh,
they'll
dude,
sell.
yeah, dude, our unnamed friend in a future podcast, I bet you, dude, when they come out with Target, that dude's gonna be like all over it. He's gonna be like seven. He's gonna buy 70 of them. I know it.
Oh God.
That's his.
Anyways,
All right.
it's fine.
Let.
They'll sell because classified is awesome, like top to bottom.
Oh, it is. It is.
Uh,
I was gonna say, is this a first flop? But it doesn't sound like it's a flop, Steve. It just sounds like you're like, oh, I wish I didn't like these. All right. let's
I'm
let's let
crossing
let.
that one off of the news list items hard. I'm like doing 3 lines through that so that I don't have to look at that news on my list anymore.
All right. Let's bring GI Joe back over to a happier side for Steve.
Sure.
All right. So if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have before now because we're so up to date on all of our news, uh, Hasbro and Mattel joined forces to give us a Sky Striker Hiss Tank Mega Blocks collab. And I saw that came out of nowhere.
That really kind of surprised me when I saw that because we had Creo,
Mm-hmm.
which had some okay building sets, that was like Hasbro's Lego version, but to see it announced that, sorry,
Are we boring you?
Mattel was gonna be doing these, and they look frickin' good.
They do. They do. So if you don't know, they have a Mega Bloks version of Lego, which is actually really well done, and their minifigures are exquisite. They are actually really well done. People collect the minifigures just on their own because of how well they're done.
Yeah,
Mattel
their
has
Masters of
come
the
out with a
Universe
lot of the
line
other
was,
lines. They came out with He-Man in this line. We've had some Aliens. We've had some Halo. We even had some Star Trek in there.
yep.
We've had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, they've had some great minifigures and some great building sets. And now they're throwing GI Joe into the mix with the Sky Striker and the Hiss, and those four figures that come with it. It's Duke, it's Ace, it's Cobra Commander, and the Hiss Driver. Everything is phenomenal about that set. I've seen some people already have it. They've already done some
Oh,
reviews, and I anticipate that set's going to be a hard to find set this Christmas. It's going to be a hard one to find.
yeah, I didn't think that was coming out to the shelves. I thought that you had to buy that through Matty Collector
Well, some
or
people have
whatever
already
the
gotten
new
their hands on it.
Mattel Creations website. Uh,
I've seen some of the YouTubers have already got their hands on. Of course, I think some of them get them as a pre to kind of do the
yeah,
review for things, which is really cool. I'm glad they get to do that because people like me get to revel in seeing stuff like that.
yeah, they're really
But
good.
I think when it finally hits the streets and us commoners get a chance to go for it, I think it's going to be pretty hard to find because it does look really cool.
Yeah, the megas are amazing. Um, if the Lego minifigure wasn't so iconic, you could almost say that the Mega Bloks minifigures are better figures.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
articulated and their movement is great, and the accessories are all really super awesome. And like it's one of those building set toys. Oh, the pricing is super aggressive and really
Yeah.
good for what it is. They're like a bases empty grand slam.
Yeah.
I mean, just so good. So I was really happy. That was on my list. I caught that one a couple of days ago,
Hmm.
and I suppose it shouldn't really super surprise us because they've collaborated with Hot Wheels with the Transformers
Oh yeah.
crossovers with that like insanely expensive transforming Optimus Prime and then the insanely not gettable uh, you know,
Hot
fleet
Wheels. Yeah.
rigs or whatever that's called and the Bumblebee that you can't get because the awful diecast scalpers are out there scooping them all up. Uh, but yeah, it would be really interesting to see what else this collaboration like yields.
I
Uh,
hope we get more. Like I would love to see a detailed Vamp come out. Vamp is one of my all-time favorite GI Joe vehicles, so I'm always going to wish for that one. Um, but it would be nice to see maybe like a Rattler to go along with this Sky Striker. That would be super cool, and I know you'd probably be really into that. So yeah, there's some really cool ones that they can go along with this, and I have a feeling that this was like a feeler, like, hey, we're gonna do this. Will people like it? And I have a feeling that yes, people are going to not just like it, they're going to love it, and they're going to demand more.
I hope so because any Joe getting out there is good Joe.
Yep.
Speaking of Joe again, um, I have seen the O-ring cover girl.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one out there. So people are really they're starting to pop up a lot more commonly at Targets. You know, you get the Cobra Commander, the Bats, the Cover Girl, and Snake Eyes. Um, I passed on it just because it wasn't. You know, I have all the like a bunch of the original O-rings, and I have some of the stuff that Hasbro did, but um, it just wasn't quite right for me. So I passed. But for $20, they're better than better price than the Hasbro ones. And they're very cool. So I have like physically seen one out there. It was mixed in with the regular reaction ones.
I ran across one of those the O-ring Snake Eyes at GameStop.
Oh,
And
cool.
I also passed on that one. Um, not because I didn't like it or didn't want it. I ended up finding a McFarlane Batman that I was like, oh, I think I'll go for this one instead. Not that so because it was a good Batman, and yeah, I have to have Batman. So, um, but yeah, they you can still find them. They're for good prices. I think they were like 9.99, which is a great price for an O-ring figure.
They're 19. They're
No,
priced
the
out.
one I saw was priced at 9.99 even, and I didn't pick it up.
Oh, oh my God. Okay. Well, hey, if I'll tell you what, I might change my tune at 9.99, but 20, I'll be very selective. You know, I'm looking forward to getting like, and these are like cartoon and comic inspired.
Mhm.
When Duke rolls out, it'll be I hope they do a really cool, you know, cartoon inspired Duke because the reaction one was okay, the 5 POA one, but
Yeah.
I'd be
Which one?
interested
You
to
talk
see
about
what
the
they
one
do
with the
with it.
headband and the lightsaber? Because that one was kind of dorky.
Well, it was the one that preceded that with that was barely any different. That actually came with a standard issue Joe rifle. But the lightsaber one, they just took the same damn figure and put him in there with a lightsaber, and
Yeah.
what, 2 waves later for $20 again.
Yeah. Okay, I got one more.
Okay.
It's not a toy, but it definitely falls within our wheelhouse. Hasbro Pulse had the Dungeons and Dragons collecting card set. I don't, if you saw that, where the Dungeons and Dragons from the 1982 cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon, they came out with a old school wax pack collecting card set. So there was like
Oh,
yeah, it's really cool. What is it? It's from Super 7. So they come with like 5 cards, I think, and a sticker. No gum. So if you're looking for that cardboard
ah,
gum, you're gonna
oh,
miss out. But you can't buy them as individual packs. This is the thing. You've got to buy the entire box, and they're all in the wax. So they're not selling them as individual packs. I'm sure somebody out there might buy multiples of these and then decide to sell the wax packs separately. But it's definitely a really cool callback to when we used to go to the store and buy, 25-cent card packs.
yeah. And did they do them on like just the cardboard with a little bit of gloss? I'm hoping that it's like grainy looking and uh,
Well, let me see if I can show you what they look like, and hopefully
I'd also like to know if they're soaking you for a whole box, then
so they kind of look.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
My light is getting in the way. Let's see.
No,
Okay.
it's okay. I get it. I see it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
they come with the stickers, which is really kind of cool. So they hit that nostalgia feel like you used to get when you buy like when there was a movie that would come out, like with Star Wars or like with Batman, you'd get that entire run of cards, but then you'd get like, 15 special stickers that would come along with it. Um, I don't know if they have any actually like chase cards or special cards like a
Puzzle
hologram card,
cards.
but
Like if you put 9 puzzle cards together, it makes a picture. That'd be
right.
kind of cool.
I don't think they have any of that, but just the idea alone that they're releasing that they made these wax pack collectible cards available again is kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess for me it mostly just depends on if they're making you buy 36 packs and it's $3 a pack for 5 cards and a sticker, there that's a little bit of a gouge. But if you're buying like 15 packs or something like that and it's a couple dollars a pack, I get it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember reading that they weren't releasing them as individual packs. Like you can't just go out and buy 10 or 15. Well, at least directly from the Hasbro site. Like you got to buy the box. You got to buy the box. But the box displays exactly like the old ones do, right? You know, you pop up the back, you fold it down, and there's a card display so you can buy the packs individually. That would look really fun on a shelf, right? Just to have a card pack there like that.
You know what Super 7 should do?
What's that?
Do you remember the Milton Bradley cards for Transformers and G.I. Joe? They
Uh,
came they
oh, yeah,
came
yeah, yeah.
packaged on a blister card, and it had like 15 cards to the pack, and two-thirds of the cards were just the art, the painted art from
And
the
then on
card
the back
packs,
was a short bio, right?
and but some of them were like cells from the animation.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so cool if Super 7 brought those back.
Oh yeah. Well, Super 7 has been doing a good job, especially in the nostalgia department. So, well, it might be something that we see. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. If we want to stick with Super 7, have you seen their vintage style Thundercats that they're rolling out?
No. Like the old like the
Well, they're done in
glowing
Masters of the
eyes.
Universe style.
Oh,
So, the Conan ones that they recently released. The Thundercats, you're getting Lion-O, Mum-Ra, and oh crap, I can't remember. I was going to write it down. The monkey guy, I think, is Monkey In or
oh,
something is his
yeah.
name. But they actually look really good. Now the kicker though is they're $30 a piece.
Oof.
I know.
That's
That's
pretty
rough.
steep. Yeah.
They each come with like one accessory, but they look good. They it's like at one point, I don't remember the name of the company, but maybe it was like Resource or somebody. They did some vintage style figures, and I have a Lion-O that's kind of like in that vintage look. They're the same ones that did the Mortal Kombat Masters of the Universe looking figures, and then they had the DC superheroes.
So
Uh,
so these Thundercat ones are done in like a Masters of the Universe style where they've got the bent legs and stuff, or
yeah, yeah. Stand by a second here, and I'm gonna get one to show you.
thank you for getting up and having pants on and not pulling a Mike Tyson. That was really appreciated.
All right, yeah. So this is the Lion-O that came out a few years
Okay.
ago.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, this isn't bad. I bought this one. I think I found him at GameStop, and he fits in really well with the other Masters of the Universe figures on the shelf. But these new Super 7 ones actually look really, really good. So
Okay, I'll have to look him up.
um, yeah, you'll want to take a look at them, and any Thundercats people out there take a look. I was a little disappointed. Super Sevens is making these like light versions of their Ultimate figures that are about $30. Like I bought the Conan, the
Oh, that
Lion-O.
one's like I tried to find that one and it's like secondhand now. It's just super expensive. I can't find
I
it.
got it off of Super 7 when they went on sale. Um, the the Lion-O that just came out recently is a cool looking figure, but God, like the paint is so pale. It doesn't look right. Like
Mm.
his skin has like this light orangish color, but you can't make out anything. It's almost like it's like pink in the toy.
Oh,
So I've seen it a couple of times at Target and just passed on it. I would have loved to have one, but it's like jarring when you see it.
right on. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look it up. I love
Yeah, they're
Thundercats.
pretty cool.
I don't
Uh,
think I love Thundercats, so I'll have to look into that.
I'll tell you something that I was super, super duper excited over, and I don't think that we covered this on the last show. I think it was something that kind of hit in between.
Okay.
At first, I was incredibly excited about McFarlane's uh, Chris Reeves Superman, and then the
Oh,
images started to hit. I know you've seen these.
yeah.
It's really disappointing. I don't know what happened with the face sculpt. I mean, they're using his name. Uh, so it's not just like Superman from a movie, it's like it's advertised as Chris Reeves Superman. And the first angle we saw looked really promising, but as you look at it more, I was really disappointed to see that.
I was too. I remember when you first sent that picture, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're finally getting it. It looks really good." And then as more images came out from different angles, particularly with the head that's on the body as it comes in the package, it kind of makes you wonder why they couldn't get it a little more accurate. There's definitely sculptors out there who have sculpted like screen accurate Christopher Reeve
Yeah, and
heads.
like they can't get someone from NECA. I mean, like
I don't know because I mean I love McFarlane. I love McFarlane action figures. I'm not really I don't classify myself as a superhero slash DC kind of collector, but the ones that I do have, I got because they were just so freaking good that I couldn't pass them up.
oh
And
yeah, they're terrific.
yeah, like I love his Batman figures. Like I every once in a while I'll pick up a really good Batman figure. Um, his Superman figures have been hit and miss for me. The classic one was really good, even though he's got that creepy smile on him. The gold label Superman is really good. And I was really hopeful for this Christopher Reeve Superman. But maybe it might be worth buying the body and getting a third party head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that. And they're doing a Page Punchers version.
Oh, really?
So for
Didn't
those
know
of
that.
you unfamiliar, Page Punchers, a lot of them are trying to feature like a comic book style deco. So there will be intentional areas of like very dark, like black
Hmm.
shading, almost like cell shading.
Right.
And it still doesn't look good. Like I saw the Page Puncher, and they just couldn't quite land the plane with this one. I was really disappointed.
Yeah, I I'm always on the lookout for a good Superman figure, and I pass up so many of them because either he's too beefy, he's too bulky, the head is too wide, it looks too monstrous. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about Superman that they just can't get right. But um yeah, the classic version of McFarlane was really good. That was the one I picked up. And like I said, the gold label one is really good too.
yeah. The new one that's just hitting Walmart right now is in my opinion the best that's been released so
Yeah.
far.
Jeff found one of those at Walmart the other day and he picked it up. So it's really
Oh, good
super
for
cool to
him.
have in hand. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It is a terrific figure, and I think he comes with a flight stand if I remember right.
Yep. Yep.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Yeah, great figure. Um, so I bagged on classified really hard
Yeah.
with those god awful Ninja Force figures. Nemesis Enforcer.
Oh God, I want that one so bad.
Talk about a dorky ass concept, right? Like the original figure, you needed it so that Sergeant Slaughter could put the smackdown on him, but holy cow.
Yeah. Very cool figure, man. The
Like
close-up figure
stunning.
shots that I've seen, outstanding. And he comes with like an alternate head. He comes with alternate hands. I think he has two sets of wings.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
he's got these like huge like bat wing things
yeah, that
that
extent.
spread out, and he
So
has a
cool.
like a flight stand that he comes with. It is a crazy good figure.
Yeah, I want him because I want to do a picture of him fighting Sergeant Slaughter. That's so bad
Oh
I could
yeah.
do that. So,
Yep. Yeah, I have three classified Sergeant Slaughters now. I have one that I took out of the box. I bought another one at a local toy show to keep in box, and then I
mhm.
also got the Slaughters Marauders version.
Which is a really cool one. I like that one too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's actually like super deluxe, and it comes with the itty bitty ditty bag. And one of the best
That's one of the
details is
accessories I want specifically from that figure set.
one of the best details is that classified Slaughter comes with this little Sergeant Slaughter on card, so
Yeah,
like he can show you the toy. Even the little Sergeant Slaughter on card is in Slaughter's Marauders colors. It's
nice.
really cute, but yeah, dude, this Nemesis Enforcer is 100% like 100% legit.
Oh, it's
Crazy
so
figure.
cool. So cool. Yeah, and that's another one that people jumped on right away and it's very hard to find now. Damn you scalpers, I hate you. But yeah, if you can get your hands on that, good luck happy hunting because it's going to be a jewel in a collection.
Yeah, you watch next Christmas they'll be at Ross for like $14, but
I'll
my
buy
Ross
two of
never
them
gets
at that
that.
price.
Yeah, my Ross never gets the cool stuff. Or I've just got some of the people from the Washington Toy Hunters group that are starting to creep up north into my neighborhood up
Uh-oh.
here, stealing my rightful toys that are mine to pass on.
My territory.
Yeah.
Right
Yep.
on.
Okay, well, I only got one more, but it was kind of a really surprising and cool figure, and I'm actually super excited for it. Um, I mean, like it's been a really good year for Optimus Prime, right? Like toys.
Hmm.
You have Studio Series 86 and all the you have the Missing Link, and you got that cool Walmart reissue. And just tons of really good ones that are
Right.
that are coming down the pipe. I just got to see I want to say it's a Voyager scale from Transformers Devastation,
Oh,
the
that's
video
right.
game with the cell shading.
I love that game.
Dude, it looks so good.
It does. It looks really awesome.
The truck mode has a couple of little wonky things about it, but
But the
the
prime mode, the
figure,
bot mode is beautiful.
yeah, like it all of the rounded edges and everything that the game model had, it's there. The
Hmm.
colors are vibrant and like gorgeous, and I don't know if he comes with the ion blaster, but he does come with like the energon axe, at least by the images that have leaked.
Hmm.
Um, that so you can make this argument like, what's the best retail released Optimus Prime? Probably Earthrise, even though you've got the just based on pricing and
Right.
sturdiness and complication, but this could be the one that like knocks it off the hill, because it's such a good looking figure. It's crazy good for what it is.
I agree. It very well could become that next, like the when we say the best version of it, what we mean, what we say to other, everybody who's listening is the best version that you can buy in the store if you were just a Joe Blow to walk up to the shelf and pull it off the shelf and buy it. We're not talking like masterpieces or third party ones that you spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. We're talking about the initial release, the store bought ones that you can just find. So up until, like he was just saying, the Earthrise was probably the best version of Optimus Prime that you can get in a store on a shelf. Very accurate, not very difficult to transform. Looks really good in his bot mode and his truck mode, and he scales well with a lot of the other Transformers. So yeah, it was a very good one. But this one from Transformers Devastation looks like the cartoon just stepped right off the screen and into
Oh
your
yeah,
hands.
yeah. It might be the one.
Yeah.
So with all of the good stuff that's come, I mean, it's been like the year of Optimi this year.
Yeah.
I think that's early next year release, and then we're also getting the other mainline release, the updated G1 version of Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's not slowing down. We're gonna get a lot of Optimus Prime. And I think maybe if you shuffle maybe one or two things on your shelf behind you, you might have some room for some of those Optimus Prime.
uh, Steve can make it work. Yeah, I'll definitely get that one. Yeah, like this guy from earlier.
That's
I
so
don't.
cool.
I had to get it because of what it was, but I had nowhere to put it. It's like sitting on the
Well,
floor in
if
front of the
if
shelf.
if I ever did get one of those, it would have to replace the the one I got here, the repro one. It's really good. It's really, really
Dude,
good.
yeah, but that one's like everything classic right there.
Yeah.
This one, it's updated packaging. It's like it's got a bunch of extra junk on it. It's a tremendous toy, and the card back is super thick that it comes on, right?
Yeah.
Like you
I mean,
won't
and
pull
it's
this
it's a
back.
great homage to the original one. It really is.
But that I will contend that knockoff Optimus Prime is still what you should show on the shelf if you can pick one.
All right. I mean,
But
I'm not
hey,
disappointed with it by any means.
your
Don't
your
take that.
toys, you do what you want, right?
Yeah. No, you're probably right. All right, so we did have another segment that we wanted to get into, but I don't think we're going to have enough time for that. So we're going to jump off of this one and start a new one. So stay with us. We'll come back after the break.
Yeah. Are we doing a sandbox?
Well, maybe.
Let's
We'll
rock and roll.
You can make your good guys better. Iron Force, roll 'em! You can make the bad guys badder. Sandbox, roll 'em into battle. Wheel warriors, quick changes fighting machines.
All vehicles in the Wheel Warriors collection are sold separately. Some parts not for use with some toys. New from Mattel. Watch out! Beast Walker is coming. Can Trailblazer stop him? The ultimate battle coming soon.
You are controlling the fastest train in the world, the most revolutionary machine on tracks, the incredible Super Turbo Train. So fast it travels in scale beyond the speed of sound. So powerful it can do what no other train can do. Race up a wall defying gravity. Now the ultimate. You streak upside down through the giant loop. You turn out the lights and you're in night glow, streamlining the darkness. Take control of the fastest train in the world. Super Turbo Train. New from Tyco, of course.
Return of the Jedi glasses. 4 new glasses from the Star Wars saga. Filled with the adventures of Luke Skywalker, the Ewoks, Han Solo, and Jabba the Hutt. Buy a medium or large Coke, and a different glass is yours each week for a special price. Collect all 4. Return of the Jedi glasses, now appearing only at...
All right, we are back after that wonderful commercial break. Did you like those commercials? I don't know which ones I'm going to put in yet, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy them.
If it's 80s, then yes.
Yes. All right, so we're going to go into another part where we are going to kind of share what we think are the best toys that we've gotten this year.
Oh my God, it's a sandbox. We haven't done this in forever and a day. Yes.
I know. We actually get to talk about like stuff that's not news, and but we do get to still talk about things that we really love, which is our toys, the toys that we have.
Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do is make the ever so difficult choice of trying to find out what toy of the year is, which is very. That's just too rough. But also show some of our favorite gets that we got over the year. That's a lot easier.
Yeah, I will say I've kind of narrowed it down to 2, and when we get to it, you might be surprised, but I will say for the viewers out there and for you, it is not a Transformer, it is not a G.I. Joe, it is not Star Wars, and it's not Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
Which ones did we choose? All right. So, you want me to start it off?
Yeah. Why don't we start off with one of your favorites from the year?
Yeah, so one of my favorites from the year, I don't think it's a 2024 toy. In fact,
no, I just mean like in terms of what were we most pleased to find.
Yeah, so I'm going to start it off with a big bang. So
Great.
My favorite one that I got this year, one of my favorites is one that I've been waiting for forever and ever, which is Siege Jetfire.
Oh yeah.
I fell in love with this guy as soon as I went over to your house and you showed him to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is probably the best Jetfire I have ever seen in my entire life. And then I've had opportunities to pick him up over the years and somehow just missed each one of them over time. So this was the last time that Hasbro re-released this one. And I don't know if they're going to be releasing him again, so I had to take that chance. And so, yeah, this was one of my favorite gets this year, Siege Jetfire. He's beautiful. Look how huge he is. And
oh yeah, smart move.
To show you that Prime we talked about in the last one, you can see how big he is.
Oh yeah. That's I want to say a 12-inch figure.
They're huge. Yeah. So if that shows you how big Jetfire is and how big Optimus Prime is, they are big bops. Absolutely big bops.
Yeah, they're really beefy and it's beautiful. We've gushed about this figure about 1 million times on the show.
Yeah.
And that's quite possibly one of the best that was released in that line, or the 3 years of that span of lines. It's that good of a toy.
It really is.
So I'm glad you finally got yours.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
And I have to do a shout out. My sister helped me get him. So thanks, Pam.
That's what family's for getting you toys.
All right.
I'll remember that when I get socks under the tree this year. Okay, so
share one. What do you got?
It's not always big and flashy. Sometimes it's just something that I find like incredibly cool. First one I'm gonna show off is something that you can just like get anywhere now.
Dude, Retro Beachhead is so cool.
Come on. Like, this is one of the best classified figures that they've done, in my opinion. Beachhead has a super iconic design, and I don't collect classified, but like I do collect classified. So there it is. It was one of the figures that just made me like
I'm gonna count him as a gateway drug, Steve, and you're just gonna keep buying more.
Oh God, I got him and Hawk, and I got Falcon and CoverGirl. I'm about done with them. there's not a lot more classified for me, but that was like
No, no,
a
no,
must-have.
no, no.
We talked about this one very briefly too. I think you said that Jeff picked it up, but the gold label Superman
Oh, that is
from
such a
Walmart.
good figure.
Yeah,
You replaced his head.
I did. That's the Chris Reeves head sculpt.
I was like, that does not look like the head that was on Jeff's.
No, no, but he's brightly colored blue. The head sculpt fits perfectly. The head sculpt that comes with this figure is great.
I do. I doesn't say I like the head sculpt on that
Yeah,
one.
as a matter of fact, I think you got the lighter blue Superman with the flight stand. I
Yep.
head swapped that one, and I've got that hanging off my ceiling flying. But I mean, it's just too cool for school.
I know. I love his
Superman
cape. I
logo
love
on
his
the
wired
back.
cape. I
It's
love that it has the yellow symbol on the back of the cape, which I think is
yeah,
very important for Superman. And I
yeah,
don't know that most people don't have that.
wired cape. So
Yep.
yeah, you stick the body proportions are good. Stick a Chris Reeves head on it, and you've got everything that you should have been getting from McFarlane. So
And there were
that's
some
like
people that didn't like the front symbol because it wasn't raised a little bit. I like the metallic version. I like how it. I like it. I'm just gonna say that.
I could have done without metallic, but it doesn't bother me. I'm done. I got my Chris Reeves Superman, so that's it. That's the end of the line for me. Rock and roll.
All right. He's a good figure. Really good figure. I like him. All right. I'll share a classified. I have two classified that made it into my favorite figures of the year. First one I'll share is absolutely the retro Snake Eyes.
Oh God, almost better than Retro Beachhead, or is better. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that is a gateway classified figure.
He's a gorgeous figure. In fact,
Yep.
he's my definitive Snake Eyes right now over all of them. Unless they come out with a classified Snake Eyes that looks exactly like version 2 Snake Eyes, which they haven't
Yeah.
yet. They've tried to pan some off as version 2. No, unless it's exact, it's not him. This one is exact. He looks just like the guy on the front. So uh awesome Snake Eyes. And he's
It is.
decked out
Yep.
with like such good accessories too.
Yeah, they don't skimp.
No. I'll go into the next one real quick and then go because we'll stay
Sure.
on G.I. Joe Classified. Um, so I don't know if this is a surprise to anybody. He was one of the characters that I was really looking forward to when G.I. Joe Classified was announced. One of them was Torpedo, one of them was Snow Job, and the other one is Doc.
Oh yeah, dude, what a great update.
Yeah, absolutely. This figure is very, very cool. I love his web gear. His
Oh yeah.
accessories
Yep.
are outstanding. I love his helmet and his glasses. His web gear is modular, so you can move these things around. He's got pegs so you can move them around in different spots, just like web gear should be done, right? Nobody
Yeah.
has standard web gear. And he's got his stretcher, his folding stretcher that can be attached to his back. It's a very great figure. It's the khakis are a good callback to the original figure, but they updated him enough that he could fit into a modern combat unit. So it looks really cool. One of my favorites
Yeah.
of all year.
Yeah, I mean, I can see this figure going on a retro card back and they just swap out those arms with Duke arms. So
Yeah.
he's got the rolled up sleeves, but yeah, that's amazing. It's one of those things like you just go between Masterverse, Classified, and McFarlane for the best like mainline non-collector niche type
I know.
figures. But yeah, Doc's that's a great figure. That almost makes me go there, but then I go there and I get Alpine, and then I freaking get like all of these other characters, Shockwave, and
Oh
I
man,
just
those are
can't
all
do
some
it.
good
Snow
ones.
Job and Low Light, dude, Low Light. Oh, okay. Yep.
So there
No
are so
more.
many contenders for classified. If it wasn't Doc, it was going to be Airborne because I really loved the Airborne figure.
Oh, it's such a good figure too. Yep.
I know.
Yep. Yep.
All right, what do you got?
Okay, I'll show another one. There we go. This is where we're gonna go to next. McFarlane Keaton Batman that came with the Batmobile.
Oh,
We've all been wanting one of these for a super long time. Um, there's an argument for the articulated head, like because this one's on a swivel. I wouldn't have minded if it was one piece, but I mean, come on, it's a super great figure.
It is.
It's movie
Oh my
accurate
gosh.
down to the little nubs. So this was
And
a big one
we're
for
talking
me.
89 Batman. We're not talking Batman Returns because he had a completely different
Yeah, now
SB.
Returns is my favorite bat suit, but
Yeah.
this is just super iconic, man. Like
Yeah.
how do you get around having that and then having like, you know, this guy next to him? It's like, come on. Come on now.
So freaking cool. Gosh, that's
Yeah.
such a gorgeous figure. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the one that's coming out. What Big Bad Toy Store released one of those that's on pre-order. So
Yeah, yeah, that looks really good too. Yep.
yeah.
100%. So that was one of my favorite ones this year. Um, God, this I just showed it. I'll show it for like 8 seconds, but how can I not love having this? Yep, yep. Thank you very much. It was all you that made this happen for me. Um, we talked about it last segment. I don't need to talk about it anymore, but I mean, this may be like top
Not
two.
just the year, but like of all time.
Yeah, top two for this year because I did get a couple of other things that just like melted me down when I saw them. I just completely like stunned by how good they were. But yeah, that's top two. There's one more. I got a co-contender for that. I won't save it to the end. I'll show it now because I've shown it before. But
Oh, Missing Link.
yeah, Missing Link Convoy.
Ugh.
This figure until you got one in your hands, you don't know how good it is. It is just so tremendously engineered
I
and
miss Missing Link and I'm regretting it now.
yeah, I mean it's got the corrected ion blaster, the hands fold in matrix, and the details are so ultimately crisp. Like this cannot be made of any old tooling. It is just an amazing top to bottom figure. Um, there's a million G1 primes and versions in the Walmart reissue, but just nothing tops this figure. It's just so good. The stickers are not stickers. They are molded in details and they're painted. So when you're forking over that money that you do, 100%, you're not just getting like a prime with a couple more articulation points. It is just a like between that and the Fall Guy, those are my two favorite things that I got this year, 100%.
Oh, and those are good ones to have. My goodness.
Yeah, what do you got over there?
Okay, I got two more to show before I get into my top two for the year.
Okay.
So I've kind of strayed from the pure faith of Star Wars a bit over the last couple of years, but I will say I picked up two this year that are outstanding figures, outstanding, and one of them is the 6-inch Bosk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely love this guy. The fun thing about him, his mouth is articulated, dude.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
So yeah, like Black Series has these ups and downs,
they
but
do, and this is
when they
definitely
when
one
they
of the
hit,
ups.
dude, when they hit, it goes off.
It really does. So yeah, when I mean, he's one of those figures that you get and you can't put down because you're just so really jazzed about how he moves and how he looks and how he feels. Bosk is one of those figures. So yeah, he's up there. He's really really good for this year. The other Star Wars one that I had is a classic. But you know, classics never die for a reason. And so it's the 6-inch
Oh,
R2D2 from the Empire Strikes Back vintage.
so what that figure lacks in articulation, the paint apps are absolutely insane.
He is insanely articulated.
Oh, is he?
Oh my gosh, yes. All of his legs are movable. He's got the extending third leg, if I can get my hand and my finger in there. I can. Yeah, he's got the extending third leg.
Got it.
Up. His head rotates. He's got the panel that comes off and has there's like mass accessories, so he can have his scope in here, his little front panels. My fingernails suck, but all of his front panels open.
Okay, all
Um,
right. There's a little bit more to it. I mean,
oh yes,
I would have bought it just based on being such a good looking R2 and not known all this other stuff. Now, I got to ask a question because I don't know. Is there a compartment for Luke's lightsaber?
there is no, well, there isn't. I mean, he has the compartment that comes off. Like I said, my fingernails suck, so I can't get into these things very well.
I was just curious because that I mean that
Where the sensors, the sensor scope goes into, I don't know if it's big enough to hold a lightsaber, but it might be. I'll have to get that panel off and get Luke's lightsaber and see if it fits.
they might be saving that for next year's release. They
Spring
should have
loaded. Boing.
pay another $25 for the same toy because it has a lightsaber hilt in it. But that would have been super cool.
But I mean, as far as the detail goes, he is extremely screen accurate.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see on my side they didn't skimp out with the silver apps and the blue that's like down into some of those grooves that
Mm.
I would have just thought even without those features to me I see that and I'm like okay yeah I could spend the money on that if I was a Black Series guy.
Yeah, it was a great find. I actually found him at WonderCon, so
Cool.
great one. Okay, top two that are not Transformers, that are not GI Joe, that are not Masters, and that are not Star Wars. Number one, gonna surprise you because it's Marvel. Crystar.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see it, dude. Yes, 100%.
Gorgeous
Yep,
figure.
I get you. I agree. That is probably that's got to be in the running for like coolest toy of the year.
It
Translucent,
absolutely.
obscure, super awesome. Yep, 100%. Yeah.
And you know me and blue see-through plastic. So yep, that was a gimme. That was a gimme. So the next one, which but I love the Crystar figure. I want to get another one because I don't want to take him out of the package. I want another one that I can play with. Okay, the other one is probably one of these kind of figures that you're like, as a kid, you're like, why don't we have more of these? It's Dungeons and Dragons Strongheart.
Oh yeah.
It's because he's like a super articulated knight that has swords and knives and maces and shields, and he looks like every bit a knight that you would want to play with. And he doesn't have any weird anything on him. Like he's like the perfect knight toy that you could possibly have.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a vintage Strongheart, but I can't tell you how many times I passed by that at my local Target and just thought, man, I need it. How does it fit into my collection? But if that wasn't even Dungeons and Dragons, just
That's what I'm
that
saying.
toy alone is so good.
It doesn't matter that it's Dungeons and Dragons because you, as a kid, you've always wanted a knight, like a really knight figure. And as a kid, we get like the small statue figures of knights on a horse. You can't move them, you can't really fight with them, or you get ones that are like you can move their arms and legs, but their arms and legs are in weird positions, and you can't just. So it's like I feel like there's never been a truly like perfect knight action figure, and then Strongheart comes out of nowhere this year and just was like, oh my gosh. And the
Yeah.
instant I saw him, I'm like, oh, I'm buying him. I don't care what his price is. I don't care who I have to steal. I don't care how much blood I have to know. I mean, it was one of those where it was like, I'm getting him no matter what, because he fit that need of a childhood action
Well,
figure for a knight.
when we saw Warduke,
Oh, I know.
totally blown away.
Yeah.
Totally blown away by what they did. But that Strongheart might actually be a better figure.
I agree. I think he is. And I love the
Yeah.
Warduke figure. But this figure, just on his own, just taken away from everything else, you look at him and you're going, my God, he is a beautiful, perfect action figure.
Yeah, 100%. And like they did one on a retro card with fewer accessories. Buy the deluxe that you got. Buy that one. Spend the few dollars extra and get that one instead of the retro carded one. You will not regret it.
No, I agree 100%. It is a non-regrettable purchase because you're just gonna love him. You're gonna love him. He is articulated in every right way. His helmet, it has operating visor. His shield is perfect. He's like everything about this figure is really, really great. And on top of that, he has a wired cape. So like they even
I didn't know
threw
that.
that on there. Yep, yeah. Yeah. I can't say any too many good things about this because I don't think there's just enough that you can say about him. He's such a great figure. So yeah, my top two, like I said, not the big four franchises that you probably would have thought would have came from me, but and I'm not a big Marvels collector either, but look at this. Top.
No, strong case right there.
Yeah.
Both of those are like kind of unexpected, but they're such strong entries that it's hard to fight against them. That Crystar was just such a WTF moment, but so welcome.
Well, yeah. So, and you talk about like all the toy lines that we've been getting lately. Like we got the Thundercats, we've got the Silverhawks, and we're getting all these other toy lines that aren't from the main four. I call them the main four, right? Um, but Crystar, as a toy line when I was a kid, was very influential. I loved the Crystar toy. I loved
And
it.
super under the radar.
Yeah,
Like what, one wave?
that was it. That was it. It was coming, it came and went, and it had a great comic series. I've got enough of those comics. It's one of those that I'm like, yes, I'm glad to have a figure of Crystar that is articulated, that looks really good. I can put him next to Superman. I can put him next to, I can put him next to a Transformer. I can put him next to a Quicksilver from Silverhawks, and he just fits in. It's such a great figure.
Yeah, give us an updated Warlord, McFarlane.
Oh man, dude, a McFarlane
Uh,
Warlord. Oh.
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna say this: Crystar's cooler than Warlord. Warlord's cool, but like I picture these guys on the shelf, all these obscure characters together. That's what we're missing. A Warlord.
Oh man, a
Let's get one.
Warlord. I love Warlord. I've got, how many Warlord comics I've got, by the way. I could do a session just on Warlord. But yeah, dude, a McFarlane Warlord would kick ass. I would love that so much. If you're listening, Todd, and I know you're not,
Okay.
please give us Warlord.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll share my last two, even though I just my favorite two I've already shown, but just to show them. This also came courtesy of a deal that you put together. O-ring Sergeant Slaughter. Yes, thank you very
I had
much.
to get him for you, dude. I had to.
Yeah, I mean, like you have no idea how exciting it is to see this Sergeant Slaughter on a card. We never got it as a kid. We got the Triple T tank, and then we got Slaughter's Marauders. That was the only carded Sergeant Slaughter. The other ones came with vehicles, but I really appreciated that. That's so cool. It's one of my very favorite things I got this year. And I would be remiss if we didn't show this one because this is probably like a lot of people's favorite this year. Studio Series 86 Optimus.
I did not get that one.
Only complaints the back kibble, and it's not terribly noticeable. Um, like you can
If I
accept it
see
because of
him,
the
or if you
scale and
see him,
everything, but
if you see him, I don't think I ever will, but if you see him, let me know.
I saw one at a Target, just one, but more's coming.
I hope so.
The
'Cause I
scalpers
want
hit
him.
him pretty hard, but yeah, I mean he's got the blue cod piece. You flip it over, it even goes onto the back side like in the cartoons. So
Very cool.
great toy, great head sculpt. He's actually kind of a brick, he's a
I was
heavy
gonna say,
heavy
how heavy
figure.
is he? He looks pretty heavy.
Chest opens up. Yeah, he's very, very sturdy. Um, you and I think we got fingernails that are the same, so it's
Yeah, I
hard
got
to hard to open the chest, but you open the chest, there's a plate that's inside of there that you flip up, and then the Matrix is behind it, like Transformers the movie. So
Right, so cool.
and the Matrix is fully painted and it's very cool. So uh
Oh man.
yeah, they did this thing where they got the leg proportions really good. You see how it like tapers down, and
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
that's a
just a
great
straight
one.
up and down block. So
He's one
yeah,
that
one of my favorites. Again though, silver grill,
yeah.
silver smokestacks. Why not white?
Why
Because
not
that's
white?
what they were like that's what color they were in the movies. But anyways,
Feel free to pay him.
that's
All right.
that's all my favorite. Like there's so many more. Like I walk in here and consider myself so lucky to see some of the stuff in this toy room. But like I did not get down out of fear of destroying it. My Bandai
The
48 scale VF1S. I've shown that one off, but it's uh I don't want to pull that guy
No,
down,
no,
and
no.
he'll
I don't want
fall
you
and
to break
die.
him. But here's my honorable mention that I got this year.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude, that's a great one.
So you and I, you know the history with me behind this one. Uh, how I tried to get it the first time, totally got snookered by somebody in China.
Yeah,
But hey, the second guy came through, and I'm glad he did because I absolutely love this guy. I mean,
yeah, and you've had it out of the box, haven't you?
oh, I did. Yeah, I had to immediately take it out of the box. But I mean, the best thing about this one is not necessarily the figure because you can find the figure anywhere. I mean, he still runs what? He's expensive no matter where you look for. He's like a $80 figure.
$100,
Figure.
yeah, easily, yeah.
But the great thing about it is the box itself. Like the Repro box is super sturdy. It's got the styrofoam inserts. The back is gorgeous. Like there's nothing
Oh
wrong
yeah,
with this one. So if you're looking for a display shockwave, take the chance. Buy the one from China. It might take 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks to get here, but it's worth the wait because when you do finally get it, if you don't get snookered like I did, you're gonna absolutely love this thing. So yeah, there's my honorable mention.
great. So we've been kind of dancing around it. What do you think? Like toy of the year, that's such a hard one. Where do you go from there?
Oh.
What does one base this criteria off on? I feel like I'm Brody from Mallrats trying to figure out what superpower that I would pick if I could only pick one. Because there's been a lot of really good releases and a lot of like arguments that you can make for them. But do you have anything in mind, like out there gettable toy of the year? What do you think it is?
Um, so from one that I don't have, or one that, or what are my criteria?
Just generally speaking, what impressed you the most this year that came out?
Oh, let's see, what did impress me most this year? Well, they were announced this year. I don't think we're going to see them until February, but if you were lucky enough in June to get on the pre-orders, the O-Ring Ghostbuster set. That is really impressive to me because I love O-rings. Steve and I have talked about this before, where we think that O-rings are probably one of the best styled action figures for articulation and display and playability. Um, so to have O-ring figures with the Ghostbusters, I'm super excited to get that. Hopefully it comes out in February like they say it does. Um, I passed on the Ecto
I
One.
think that they're shipping. I think they're shipping from Big Bad. I got my notice that it was arriving imminently.
No, 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 no.
The O-ring Ghostbusters.
They aren't supposed to be released yet. Hasbro hasn't even said that they're. Oh my gosh, you lucky duck. You lucky, lucky
It,
duck.
I'm pretty sure it's sitting in my pile of loot because I have a couple of other things that are like just hanging there. But
Hmm.
dude, you're so right. Thinking back as kids, like you watched Ghostbusters, and it was years later when we got the real Ghostbusters before we had Ghostbusters figures. Who wouldn't have just like killed
Yeah.
to have some O-ring Ghostbusters to play in GI Joe vehicles and all that? Man, that's a super strong entry, man. A little unexpected, but you're right. When you look at the surprise factor and the awe and the coolness and everything of that, that's it's hard to deny that one.
Yeah. The only other one that I would
So that's
say,
what you're going with?
well, the only other one that I would say would be a best figure of the year would be one that I don't like. Other people have gotten it so far this year. I'm super excited to get mine in however few days it takes for DHL to put it on my doorstep. Um, but it's definitely going to be one I can't wait to talk about. I don't want to blow because I want to talk about it in our next one.
Okay,
But it's
that's fine.
definitely
You
one
don't
that's
you
in
don't
the
have
top.
to.
It's
If
it's
we're gonna
it's it's going to beat all of these.
Okay.
But I
Well,
will
you
tell
know
you this.
what?
I will tell you this. The criteria that I think for what makes a toy of the year, for like if anybody was looking for what would I do, it has to be one where your immediate response when you see it is like, I need that. I need that. That is an absolute need for my collection. it's something that you wished you had as a kid. It's something that you wish they had made when you were a kid. And it's that thing that you're like, I cannot wait to get this thing in my hands, right? Like I can't wait to get it out of the package. I can't wait to play with it, transform it, move it, pose it, whatever it is. It hits that nerve in you where you're like, oh, I need to have this. That's what I think goes for a toy of the year. And so when I'm showing you these ones where I've picked, they've
Yeah,
all hit that need, right? That feel.
yeah, I get it. I get it. And I think it's a lot for me too. And like we're biased to the things that we love, right? Like technically toy of the year should be some like really good Lego set because Lego's amazing and it's anything that you want it to be. It's not mine. Not mine, right? Like uh I had to really kind of go back and forth, but I think that my toy of the year, uh, it's going to have to be Missing Link Convoy because it presents as something so classic and iconic, and it is so tastefully expanded upon. It is overstated and it's understated at the exact same time.
Mm,
The little features like the hands that fold in instead of losing the fists that plug in, and
right.
the corrected blaster and all the added articulation and all the stuff that I just detailed earlier. It's not like it's a toy that you go and like buy at a Walmart. I mean, it's probably $130 at your local hobby store, but you see the pictures and you think, it's kind of neat. And then you hold one and you see one in person and you understand why. Um, I was so close to saying Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And hey, I'm an Optimus Prime mark. I'm totally biased, right?
I could
No
not tell.
questions about it. Like, that's my guy. Uh, Studio Series 86 is a really, really, really good figure. And you put it on the shelf and it's perfect with everything else. And it looks so good and the articulation is so amazing and the sculpting is so great. But um, everybody, well, every kid who saw Transformers for the first time on a Saturday morning and couldn't even make it through the episode before they had to go run outside and pretend they were a Transformer. They saw Optimus Prime on the shelf, and I mean that was the one.
Mm-hmm.
And this toy is just everything that is so good about that G1 toy, and all of these great extras thrown on top of it, and such care was given
Right.
to the production. So for me, I think that's probably toy of the year. Um, I love the picks that you had. Uh, those Ghostbusters,
Mm-hmm.
100%. If you were to like panel up with 100 people, this guy probably gets like 8 votes. But
I don't know. You probably get a little more than 8 votes, but
I do. So strong, and all the things that make Crystar a great figure, and the things that make Strongheart a great figure. Those are like should be like top 10 picks of the year. But
I definitely
mine's Missing Link Convoy. I think that's gotta be the one for me this year when it released. It was just it's a I can't say enough about the figure. It's just terrific.
Yep. Well, I think we hit the nail on the head for best figures of the year. I mean, yeah, they're ones that we have, but we got them for a reason because they're freaking cool, and we knew that they were going to be great figures. So, yeah, I am right there with you. If I had a Missing Link Convoy, he probably would have been in my top two. So,
Oh yes, and like these are all toys that we went to further lengths to get.
yeah.
It wasn't something like I waited to find Studio Series 86 on the shelf. I had a really good hookup at Toy Roundup. I had one on pre-order, and this really great local company out of Everett was getting them in, and they were kind enough to let people call dibs on them. They got 86 of them,
Oh,
and I made it a point to drive down to Everett to get it. I wanted it so bad. Uh,
it was a good call. It was a good
yeah,
call.
my McFarlane Batman, 89 Batman and Batmobile, love it, by the way. If you couldn't tell, I bought that from a scalper. because I was so concerned I wouldn't be able to get one. They sold out that quick on Amazon. So uh, that kind of mania that some of these things like get in you, where you just gotta have it, and you pre-order it and pre-order it from two places in case one is screwed up. And I've been there, man. Figure. I've been there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just evokes that visceral need, right? You're like, I've got to have it, I've got to hold it. So, all right. Well, that was our favorites of the year. Hope you enjoyed our sandbox. It's been a while since we've done one. Hopefully, it won't be a while till we do another one. But if you enjoyed us, give a like and subscribe. Give us a comment. Find Steve on Facebook and find me on Instagram. And we'll see you in the toy aisle.